All right, well, problem with going last
This meeting is being recorded.
everyone has given all the favorite roads, so it's really good. I love Hiawatha. I've done that several times. I love Highway 1 on not Coeur d'Alene, in California. Did anyone mention the one going from Plummer to Harrison, that bike ride? That's a really cool one too. I like that one. All right, so let me see if I can share my screen real fast. Okay, can y'all see it? Okay. So, let me get here. I am the Community Engagement Specialist in the Coeur d'Alene office, and Community Action Partnership is part of a nationwide community action agencies that reach about 99% of the counties in the United States of America. Our local organization serves 11 counties. The 10 northern counties in Idaho, and then our main office is down in Lewiston. And since we partner closely with Clarkson, we also do a Stoughton County in Washington. Many of our services are income-based, and they use the federal poverty level as our boundary. And most of you know what that is, but I'll go over that real quickly. For example, for 2021, income at 100% of the federal poverty level was $12,880 for gross annual income, which was roughly $1,073 a month for a single person. And then it goes up per when you add a family member. So for a family of 4, 100% was $26,500 gross annual income, $2,208 for the monthly. And Community Action Partnership utilizes that federal community services block grant to serve our individuals and families living at or below 200% of that federal poverty line. So for a family of 4, take that $26,500 and double it. That's essentially what we serve and below that. Let's see. Our mission is to build relationships that inspire and equip people to end poverty in our communities. We envision communities where all people are equipped to thrive. We aspire to change people's lives, embody the spirit of hope, and improve our communities. To us, this means partnering with other organizations like everyone here and building relationships within the community and the community members themselves. So our Pathways Out of Poverty is based on our organization's theory of change. And we go down 2 roads, working directly with the community members who are financially insecure and with the different community organizations through education. When we work with community members, we see their pathway out of poverty in 3 tiers: to stabilize, coach, and then connect. If the community member is given support that removes barriers, then their circumstances will change, moving them from crisis to stable, even if just temporary. If the community member is given accurate information through coaching and classes, then their perspective will change, moving them from that fatalistic point of view to a deterministic way of thinking. Many in generational poverty have grown up believing that there's nothing that they can do. It's just fate that they are poor. So they think, why even bother trying? And so our job is to help them change that perspective to thinking that maybe they can do something. You know, reality is somewhere in between fatalistic and deterministic. Like, kids don't ask to be born into poverty. But growing up that way, they then just believe that they can't do anything. So that's why we try to coach them and teach them to change that perspective. And then finally, if the community member is given a chance to participate in their own path out of poverty, then they will change their behavior. moving them from living in the tyranny of the moment, meaning that crisis moment, controlling their actions in this short-term thinking, to future forward thinking. And utilizing those new resources and connections, they now have access to change their behavior when faced with any roadblocks. And I'll talk a little bit more about how we do that in a bit. We also believe part of that pathway out of poverty is on a community level. We work to educate and unite those organizations that work with this demographic, as well as influencers who have the power to enact change at the policy level. So if we give accurate information through our programs designed for middle to wealth economic classes, then we'll be able to create changed attitudes towards poverty and changed practices within various organizations and policies. So how do we do this? Well, we stabilize our community members with transactional work, requiring very little from them at this stage. They are in crisis at the moment, and they have difficulty even finding a ride to come in for help sometimes. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them, and we want to make them feel welcome and wanted. And we do this through a few different programs we have. First is the food bank, which is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we have two programs in there. One is not income-based. So if they just find themselves in straits because of medical bills or something that just knocked them from middle class to now they're struggling with their bills, we want to be available for them too. And so they can come in once a week and get what we call clearinghouse. The other one is USDA commodities, which is basically non-perishable staple items. And that is income-based, and they can come in once a month for that. And then we have several programs to help with energy assistance and even water assistance. Most are income-based. However, we do partner with Vista and Kootenai Electric with their Project Share program, which is not income-based. If a family finds themselves in crisis and they just need some help, have them call us. We don't know if we can help them, but we might be able to if funding's still available. Each of these programs that we have, these three, is once per seasonal year. They can come in for this help. So if a family does qualify for these programs, they could be helped as much as 3 times per year with these. Our weatherization is based down in Lewiston, but they do serve all 10 of the northern Idaho counties. It is a longer application process, and there is usually a waiting period. But applications are usually prioritized by emergency, need, and available funding. And then when a community member is stabilized, they are more likely to and ready to think about transformational work. I call this facing the dragon. It's hard to change, to step out and hope that they can make a difference in their lives. Remember, many of them don't believe they can and still live as though this is just their fate to be in poverty. So we do this through individual and family coaching that focuses on financial and personal success, whatever that looks like to them. They steer the ship. So that's an important part of our coaching, is that they need to see that we believe that they know what they need. We are just there to offer a change in perspective and possibly gently nudge them towards facing that dragon of change. We also offer classes. This is, as many of you know who also offer classes, it's a great opportunity for peer support and to offer a fun, dynamic way of learning. We focus our classes on job readiness and self-awareness, you know, those essential skills that set them up for success. And I'll talk about the classes we have available in a bit. Finally, we want to connect them to the community. We believe it does take a village, a community of people to surround an individual and show that we believe they can succeed. I think I'm kind of preaching to the choir here in this environment where I'm presenting, but that is one of the crucial parts for us, is to connect them. Why that is when we connect them to other resources, say they want to continue their education, they want to get a GED or something, or they need further help with some hangups they still have, or they just need additional help that we can't provide, then they are introduced to other outside influences from their circle of influence. And that plants seeds of alternative ways of thinking and behaving. We also like to connect them to volunteering opportunities. This helps them view their world and their community through a different lens. They begin to take ownership of their community and change their behavior and thinking towards it. And we offer volunteer opportunities here. And what's really neat about it is that it's not just people coming out of poverty, but all facets of the economic statuses are here, you know, middle class and wealth, they all come and serve, and they're serving right alongside. And so once again, they're getting that alternative way of thinking, and which can help them change their behavior. And again, we don't want to just put them in our volunteer programs. If you guys have volunteer opportunities you think would be great and beneficial for them, please contact me, because I'd love to connect them. Again, the more we can get them out and connecting with the community, they're building that social network where they might not have had it before. And then through it all, they are building these bridging networks of people and resources that not only help them physically, but also mentally. They see they have options, which helps them continue to move forward instead of falling back to that tyranny of that moment thinking. They now have alternative resources in their pocket to help them face new roadblocks in a different way, thus changing their behavior. And as I mentioned earlier, we also reach out to the community with educational programs. Through poverty simulations, participants experience what it is like to attempt to navigate that tyranny of the moment. Many in the middle class and wealth don't really understand what that means until they are in the thick of it during these simulations. And what's really cool about these simulations is the developers used real live families and the circumstances that they had to go through instead of just hypothetical scenarios. So it really makes it personal. We also offer Bridges Out of Poverty workshops and seminars to help organizations learn hidden rules of economic classes, evaluate their services, and effect positive change in their communities. Some of you have heard about Bridges or have even gone through workshops, but Bridges is more than that. It is an initiative that believes it takes a community to speak the same vernacular and uniting in how we assist in that positive change. And right now, we are actually looking into bringing to this community what Bridges calls a steering committee. And that consists of several organizations working with the Bridges initiative-focused lens. These steering committees consist of different organizations, those experiencing poverty, and leaders of our community. It is more than just like this meeting where we come together and we share what we do and our resources and all of that. It's actually combining and really working together in a more intimate way that can bridge the language that we use. And so when people are moving from organization to organization, they're hearing that same lingo and they're experiencing the same way, and it helps them to move out of poverty in a smoother and cleaner way. If you want to learn more about it, please contact me. I'll give you more information later. So as you can see, we are more than a food bank. We have energy assistance, which many of you know, but we're trying to move past that and get known for the transformational work that we also do. If you know of anyone who fits in that 200% or below the federal poverty level criteria and think we may be able to help, please send them our way. So I want to just highlight a few of these as they'll be coming up soon. Coaching obviously is ongoing, so if you think they qualify and would really like some coaching, send them our way. Our workplace excellence class will begin at the end of this month on June 29th. It goes from 2:30 to 5 p.m. and it meets once a week for 5 weeks. And this class focuses on soft skills every employer is looking for in an employee. They will come away with a certificate of completion and can even put it on their resume so that when future employers are looking, they see that they've actually invested the time in self-improvement. Towards the end of summer, we'll be running our first poverty simulation and also our Best Foot Forward class. So first is the Best Foot Forward class. That will be the beginning of August, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It runs 2 to 4 p.m. and it'll be 3 classes in a row. They will come away with a completed resume, a cover letter, a 30-second elevator pitch, or those tell me about yourself topics, and will have learned important interview skills. And not just in the interview itself, but how to prepare beforehand. And then our poverty simulation, it will be the first one since COVID. And if your organization has had a large turnover since then and have never experienced this, or would just like to go through it again, or you'd like to put your volunteers through it, please let me know. The more the merrier. The bigger we have of a simulation, the more realistic it becomes. We will also be working towards more bridges, workshops, and seminars. We will come to your organization and cater it towards your staff and or volunteers. So we can really work with you and figure out if you're thinking about maybe becoming part of that steering committee, what it would look like, and you might want to go through that full seminar, or if you're really trying to see what it's like and understand what hidden rules are and different things like that, we can come and give a smaller workshop for you. If you are interested in becoming part of that Bridges Steering Committee, please, please, please let me know. I will contact you, I'll come and meet you, and I'll give you more information about it. It's really at its infancy right now, and it's so we want to be building that network and getting together all of these organizations that can work with us, because there'll be things in that Bridges initiative due to our limitations of our CSBG where we can help certain and we can do certain classes, but then there's other organizations out in the community that can take on other parts of the Bridges initiative as well. So it really does take the whole community to go through that. So on this one, I have my contact information. I will also put my email address in the message bar too. So if you need to get hold of me, you can do it that way. Thank you so much for letting me share what Community Action Partnership is all about and what we've got going. So I guess at this point, I'll just open it up for any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Kaylin. Are there any questions from the group?
I have a couple, if you don't mind. Kaylin, Josh Perry from Idaho Families. We kind of have a very similar mission. We're kind of new to the game. A couple questions real quick. How long have you guys been operating? What does your client level look like in numbers? Like how many clients are you servicing generally a year maybe?
With our food bank, we have, I wish I had the exact numbers, but we serve hundreds and hundreds of families a year. Several of them are repeats. They come in week after week after week, but then there are many of them who just found themselves, they lost their job or their rent went up, or all of the different things that we all see happening, and we service them as well.
Okay. So how long have you guys been in existence?
Well, it was President Lyndon Johnson who actually started it, so it's been a while.
Yeah. And then I know this is kind of specific, and I hope that I'm not, bogarting the whole conversation here. Your concept of partnering with your clients, that's something we're trying to work through. Are you finding your clients are engaging in that process? Because we're trying to build those relationships and those partnerships, but everybody just seems to kind of want to do the quick hit, get my emergency problem solved, and then they're not vested in the long-term relationship.
Yeah, it takes two things. So first, they have to be there where they want to move forward. That's why I call it facing the dragon, because it's so scary to step out and actually want to change. But once they're in there and we're talking and we're using that family-focused, family-centered coaching kind of mentorship way of doing things, they usually are saying thank you. Because I heard that several times from one that I was working with, that I'd say, oh, okay, well, you steer the ship. That's my go-to line. I always say, you steer the ship. You tell me where you want to go. And they're like, thank you for that. Thank you. Because they've had enough people telling them what they need to do.
Right.
They know they need to change. It's just a matter of getting them to see how they need to change and what resources they have already that maybe can help support them to that change.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Kaylin?
I just wanted to say thank you. Great presentation. Exciting to hear what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great information. I have actually a couple of questions. One on the poverty simulations. You said kind of the more the merrier to get the information out there. What would be the capacity? Like if we had a few organizations bring like their boards or whatever, could you serve like 30 people in one setting simulation, or is there a
That's a small one.
Oh, okay.
So the max we can do is probably like 123.
Wow.
So that's what I mean in like the more the merrier, because when you actually going through this simulation, you are waiting in lines. You're trying to do all of these things that people in poverty have to do every time. And so if you don't have many people, you don't have a very long line. That's not very realistic. So that's the kind of stuff that when I say the more the merrier, I mean it.
Great.
Do you have a cap on how many people you can do that best foot forward? And if it reaches that cap, are you going to have more of these type of classes offered? Because I know a few of my participants that would benefit from that.
Yes, absolutely. This is, I just developed that class. And so this is like my pilot class to see how it goes. And the workplace excellence, we've done that in the past before. I've kind of modified it and changed it a little bit to make it more relevant. But yeah, both of those are kind of our pilots. Since COVID shut everything down, we've not been able to do a whole lot. So I'm hoping to get classes started and filled up again. Yeah. I don't have a cap.
Okay.
And I just saw in the chat, Leslie mentioned Charity Tracker, which is something I made note of too when Josh was speaking. Is, it's a good way to track and follow services that individuals are receiving. And it's cross-organizational if there's multiple organizations that are involved in that. So I think that's a good suggestion, Leslie.
Yeah, and I'll add that Bridges Out of Poverty actually uses Charity Tracker with one of their classes. It's called Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By World. And they actually do use Charity Tracker to track nationwide the results.
Interesting.
So Kaylin, are you using?
we're working towards it. My boss is working with, oh gosh, I just lost her name.
Maggie
But
Glantz?
yeah, they're working on it. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Any other questions for Kaylin?
I do. This is Carrie. So I just was curious, and this could kind of be a question for the group as well, but what sort of like planning or services do you know of or do you provide for folks that are on like Social Security, for example, and really have a hard time finding the ability to like secure housing or save money because of that, having to keep assets low in order to stay on those benefits, kind of like making not enough, but too much. I'm curious if some of your services might address that or be able to work with folks that
Hey,
are kind of
Carrie,
stuck in that way.
My question is your clients on HUD Section 8?
Say that again.
Are they on, Carrie, are they on Section 8?
Oh, no, I'm not speaking specifically to any clients that we have. We don't really do a direct service program, but just kind of thinking through that, it came up in a couple of scholarships.
Community action, that's part of our partnership, is that we do refer to other organizations. A lot of the time with housing, we do refer them on to like St. Vincent de Paul, Idaho Housing, Intermountain Housing, Fair Housing, those kind of things to help with the housing issues. We do help if they're on Medicaid. They are usually fast-tracked in our energy assistance. If anyone is on receiving the SNAP program, they are automatically qualified because it's through a different grants, and health and welfare actually run that. And so they get to kind of get fast-tracked through it, which makes it wonderful for helping, when people are in poverty, they're having to bring their Social Security cards and all this stuff to all these different organizations. And with that fast track, we've already got all that information, so we don't need to do that. So it really does make it easier process on them. And that's what we try to do with those transactional works, where we try to make the application process as easy as possible for everyone who comes in.
Oh, on that note, on the HPP, which is the homeless prevention plan for those people who are delinquent in their eviction, there's going to be a change coming soon, probably in less than a month, where it's not going to be just COVID related, because of if you're back not being able to pay rent because, hey, your business shut down, you don't have to have COVID or COVID related. So there's going to be a change coming soon. So hopefully that will help. I know probably St. Vincent de Paul knows about that too. And it's going to open it up so that more people can use that resource, which is a big help, because they can go back to, I think, some crazy amount of months of back rent if you're that, and help you further on. So
Any other questions for Kaylin? Perfect. Well, thank you, Kaylin. That was a great presentation and good information for all of us. Now let's shift gears and kind of go around the room. Who wants to share what's going on or coming up?
I'll go. So just a couple things. FEMA money will be available probably mid-July, maybe sooner, which can help with rent and utilities, but it also can help with mortgage payments. People have gotten behind with mortgages, and that's kind of a big deal because most of the stuff is just for rentals. We are still having our housing resource fair at City Park on July 9th. I'm almost ready to close out if anybody would like to table, but I have a few more slots if anybody's interested. We're going to have a lot of providers there, some property management companies. Hopefully Nyack and Heritage will be bringing their mobile buses. We're going to have rock painting for the kiddos and coloring stuff. Eye Care is going to do a table. Becca will be signing people up for HP and getting them housing lists and actually going online and putting people right in the queue if needed. There'll be a band. Thank you, Leslie. The Croc Center's band will be there, and we'll have free hot dogs from St. Luke's. Is going to be cooking hot dogs. So come one, come all. And then the other thing, NAMI, we just finished a round of family support facilitator training. So probably mid-July, early August at the latest, we'll be offering that as well. And that's for family members that have somebody that has mental health issues. And that's been a big ask, at least through NAMI with emails and things, is that there's not really a lot of support for the family members. So we're going to be doing online groups, and I'll get you that information when it's available.
Awesome. Thank you, Donna. Anyone else? Who's next? Joelle was about to, but the phone rang.
I'll go, Mark.
All right.
Leslie from the Salvation Army Croc Center, just letting everybody know our camps are all full for summer, and we're excited about that. We have all of our staff now hired, the youth development team. We're still hiring lifeguards, just strategizing as we have an employment shortage that everyone knows about. Scholarships are still available for people re-entering our community, whether you're out of jail or prison, or you've graduated a recovery program. You can come in, provide verification of that Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and you will get automatic approval for a 3-month, 100% Croc membership, 100% scholarship. So we're still doing that. Our WELL program is running again through summer. We're not taking any breaks. Thursday evening, 6 to 8. We have about 30 people here every Thursday evening. We have a topic of discussion, 6 to 7, and then 7 to 8, we exercise. Kids are welcome, and you do not need to be a member. So we have people that are joining us from all walks of life, and it's just a really incredible outreach, and people are really feeling welcomed, accepted. They're working on SMART goals and achieving those, and we celebrate those wins. So that's all I got. Thanks, Mark.
Fantastic. Thanks, Leslie. Who would like to go next?
I'll give it a go. I just want to remind everybody, most of you know, some of you may not, that we are still offering our safe sleep classes online. So if you know any new parents out there or expecting parents, you know, who are in a situation maybe where they're co-sleeping with the baby, please have them reach out. They can take our safe sleep class, and if they need, we can provide a portable crib so that the baby has a safe place for them to sleep that they can take with them wherever they need to go. We're also now offering free childbirth classes. It's a 4-series class, super great class, all over Zoom, absolutely free of charge. Claire is hysterical. She's a emergency room technician out of Spokane, but she gives the best presentation, and she sure knows how to speak to the dads and to make sure the dads know how to participate in this whole process. And also she teaches an infant CPR and safety class that is really phenomenal, again, over Zoom. So nobody has to go anywhere. They can view it on their phone or, you know, on their computer. And we are working on, and should be starting soon, a breastfeeding class as well. Again, all of these free resources for new and expecting parents. That's everything.
Awesome, thanks. Who would like to go next?
I will. Just
I
something
will.
really quick.
Or Josh.
Sorry, Cole. I'll be quick. So I just want to remind you guys that September coming up is the recovery month, and we're going to have our recovery rally coming up. And so we're still getting that in order. We'd love to partner with anybody who was interested in being a part of that. We're still looking for a venue where we're going to do it at. but it's definitely going to be probably in the first week of September. And so if you guys need to email us or if you want to contact us by any means, I can put our email in the chat. That's all I got.
Yeah, so there's some really cool things happening with Love Inc. We do have some things coming up. Love Inc. has, if you guys have anyone who's interested in knowing more about what we do, wants to become a volunteer, we have our volunteer orientations the second Friday of every month. And that's located in the second building called The Den across from CDA Coffee. So that's taking place this Friday, and those are from 12 to 1 p.m. And so if anyone wants to come and be a part of what we're doing, you can invite them into that. We do have some classes, one that just finished that we hosted at the Kroc Center called Faith and Finance. We had 3 graduates in that class, which all of them either declined their debt during that class or didn't increase their debt. So that was a huge praise report for that class. We're continuing to build our classes. We have a boundaries course coming up starting on Mondays at the Kroc Center. Thank you, Leslie at the Kroc Center, for hosting our classes. We love you guys. That's going to be July 11th, starting July 11th, going through August 8th, and it's going to be from 5:30 to 7 p.m. If you know anyone that you would like to refer to us and they want to give our center a call, we can invite them in to be a part of that class. So yeah, that's kind of some things that are happening over here.
Great, thanks, Cole. Who would like to go next? Vicky.
Okay, there's some new faces on here, so I thought I'd just share some old news, but maybe new tidbits along with that. So I'm the director of the Workforce Training Center for the college, which has all the non-credit offerings, such as the apprenticeships, healthcare, CDL, welding classes, and things like that. We partner with the Department of Labor for the program called Idaho Launch, and I'm going to put a link in the chat, but Idaho Launch is considering paying now, it was 75 to 90% of the cost of courses that we get approved through them for any Idahoan that is willing to work in Idaho. They're now considering just paying a standard 90% of all the registration fees for all Idahoans and even out-of-state residents that are willing or already work in the state of Idaho. So we should hear more back about that soon. They had a council meeting yesterday to discuss those changes. So I hope that that information will come out shortly. But please, if you have anybody that, funding is a barrier to education, have them check out this Idaho Launch program. I'll give you a link to our website that links you to Launch, but also the direct link to Idaho Launch. So you can check it out for your folks or for yourself. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks, Vicky. Who's up next?
I'll jump out. So at United Way, we continue to offer our Alice Childcare Scholarship. So if you know a family that is struggling with the costs of childcare, which can be really, really expensive, we offer scholarships to families in the 5 northern counties to cover part of the cost of their childcare. So the application process is really simple. There's a Google form online, or there's a hard copy if they have difficulty accessing technology or internet. And it takes about 20 minutes to fill out. Just include, their contact information, their information about their childcare center and how much they're paying. And we have a review team every month. So we're awarding these scholarships every month. They don't have to wait too long to find out if they've been accepted. And we are pretty flexible with our parameters. So if a family thinks, oh, well, I can't apply because I don't qualify for ICCP, have them apply anyway. We can be pretty flexible. So I'll drop the link in the chat. If you have any questions or know of a family right off the top of your head that you'd like to refer, I'll put my email in there as well. We also have childcare scholarship business cards that have the QR code on the back that families can scan, and it'll take them directly to the application page. So those are pretty handy. If you'd like some of those for your organization, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to drop some off for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Shelby. Who's next?
I'll go ahead and jump in there for
Great.
the Head Start program. Our biggest one is probably the newest thing that we have is that we currently, our income guidelines have expanded to automatically income qualify families for anybody that's receiving SNAP. So that it's kind of a big thing to expand out any of those people that qualify for there. They don't even have to worry about bringing in their income verification or their documents. We just need to see verification of their SNAP benefit, and then they will income qualify for the program. So that's something that just recently came out. So it's should help get more families engaged and involved in and be in the Head Start program. So
Perfect. Thank you. Who wants to go next? Really? Wendy, you always have something going on. What's going on, Wendy?
We have summer camp registrations that are opening up, and we've got scholarships for up to 250 families. So if people are looking for summer camps and needs one where they can get some scholarship help with that, we've got that going. Our job club is getting a lot of businesses calling and asking for help finding employees. So if you know anybody looking for work, our job club team would be happy to help try to connect people looking for work with employers looking for employees. So, and we're our normal stuff, rent / mortgage assistance, food rooms, and soup kitchen, and everything's all going and have plenty of room for people.
Great. That reminded me, so a couple of you have mentioned youth summer camps and scholarships. If any of your organizations are have the capacity to have more but are running out of scholarship funding, let us know. We would likely be able to help assist with granting scholarships for youth summer camps. And then one other thing for the United Way of North Idaho Awards Luncheon is coming up on June 23rd. And this weekend is the deadline for Nonprofit Professional of the Year and Volunteer of the Year. So if you have a coworker or volunteer that does outstanding work that you think should be recognized, please submit the application. It's online on our website. So I can drop a link in there, but it's just uwnorthidaho.org/awards. And they don't have to necessarily, oh, thanks, Carrie. They don't necessarily have to be connected with United Way in any way, just any nonprofit organization in the 5 northern counties. So I think that was all that I had. Anything to add?
Mark, I just wanted to throw out there, CD Aid still also has a substantial amount of scholarship funding for camps and programs, and with like fall sports coming up and things like that for children and families of service workers.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you. Evelyn.
Also, I just want to let you know if you guys have any people in your caseloads that are on Section 8 to kind of suggest, hey, apply for enroll into the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. It is an amazing program. It allows them the opportunity to get a savings, accrue savings, since you're working and your income's going up. So yeah, your rent's going to go up. That's going to be matched. That rent increase is going to be matched and put into a savings. So after you graduate, you have that, and then you have the opportunity to join HOPES, which is in today's housing market will be a boost because they help with down payment assistance that you do not have to pay back.
That's great. That's a great resource. Thank you. All right, we have 3 minutes left. Any other additions or random jokes?
Well, tomorrow is last day of school and family day in the park in Coeur d'Alene. So if you're down there, you'll have to check out the newly installed Born Learning Trail that leads up to the parking structure. So it's for families to play with a purpose with their little ones. Pretty fun.
Awesome. That's right. That is the second installation in Coeur d'Alene of our Born Learning Trails. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you all. Be sure to check out the chat. There's a few links that have been put in there. I'll keep this open just for a little while so you can grab all those. Otherwise, thank you all for participating and have a fantastic day. Bye all.
Thanks, Mark.